Dear Father Winter, this year I would like a little raincoat for Tally-Ho because it is so yucky here in Barovia. And I would like a new outfit for Pasha because he's been wearing that nightshirt for a really long time and it's starting to get gross. I think overalls would be really good for him because they're good for gardening. For Sasha, I would like a squeaky toy. For Kaz, I would like a really cool fur coat that's not made out of wolves. For Drogar, I would like some more cinnamon and then maybe some more spices to put in the oatmeal. And for Artemis, I would really like just for Maliki to say hi. I don't know if that's something that you have the power to do, but if you can you please tell the Way Warden hello for me and happy Yuletide. And my wish this Yuletide is that next year we're all spending it together in Emily. Okay, thank you.
Dear Father Winter, I would like to think that I've been a reasonably good dragon this year, and if it's not too much trouble, I would like to ask for some gifts for my friends. Let's see. For Winnie, I would like a new stuffed moorbounder for her, so that she has a friend for her Tally-Ho. For Gaz, perhaps a whetstone so that she might sharpen her blades. For Artemis, a brand new bowstring so that he can let his arrows fly with ever more grace. For Pasha, perhaps some seeds. Some seeds so that he might plant some ever-growing forests. Oh, and for me, Father Winter, if it's not too much trouble, just a little jar of cinnamon. Thank you.
Dear Father Winter, I've never heard of you or Yuletide before. I hope that doesn't mean I'm on your bad list. I'm sure my friends aren't, so here's what I want for them. For Winnie, a few more earrings. I'll help her pierce her ears a couple more times. I think people take her more seriously with earrings. For Artemis, a long stick so he can poke things that look dangerous from far away, and treats for Sasha. For Drogar, a big empty book so he can write down all of his stories and also remember which ones he's told us already. For Pasha, a big walking stick like shepherds use. He doesn't like to fight, so he wouldn't think of it as a weapon, but I'd feel better knowing he could use it to hit anything that attacked him. And I want a javelin like Artemis's arrow that comes back when I call it. Javelins are expensive here. Also, just warning you, maybe instead of coming down the chimney, you could just leave stuff outside of wherever we're sleeping. I sleep with a spear and I'm really jumpy lately. Happy Yuletide, I guess. Okay, bye.
Dear Father Winter, I know there is still a lot of bad in the world, but there is also a lot of good. My friends have helped me stay in the light, even in these dark days. For Yuletide, I'd like to ask for this to be the year I can finally set down my bow, but I know that time has not yet come. Instead, I would like to ask you to watch over my two young companions, Winnie and Pasha, for they have seen too many horrors in their young lives. They deserve a happy and peaceful life, so they may regain some of the youthful joy that has been stolen from them. I will do whatever I can to help fulfill this wish. I hope you will aid me in this as well.
Hello, Father Winter. My name is Pasha. It's nice to meet you. I'm sorry I never wrote you a letter before. I didn't know how to write, or that you existed. But Winnie has been helping me learn my letters, so now I can. You know Winnie from before. She's really fun. I bet she's on the top of your nice list, number 1. Anyway, for Yuletide, if it's not too much trouble, I would like a sheep. Since everybody rescued me, I have discovered that I really like having friends. And I think a sheep would make another good friend. Plus, then I could use its cloud fur to make everybody pants as a thank you for saving me. I'll make you some pants too, as a thank you for the sheep. Your friend, Pasha. Hey Dungeoneers, just wanted to take this opportunity to wish you a happy holidays from all of us goons. We have a lot of exciting things planned for the new year that we can't wait to share with you, and your support means the whole world to us. So thanks again, Dungeoneers, and take your holidays with advantage. When last we left our heroes, making their way to the Abbey, they were greeted by Othro and Siegfried, two of the Chimeran denizens who dwelt therein. After doing what they do, Othro and Ziggy welcomed them inside, where at long last our heroes met the Abbot. Hosting them for a meal, our heroes learned of the Abbot's coming to Barovia, his battles with Strahd, and his new plan to set the valley free, namely, the Silka. Skeptical, our heroes left the Abbot to seek out another visitor to the Abbey in the library. they found her, or perhaps it would be more accurate to say she found them, and she gave a very strong welcome. Can the Abbot be trusted? And who is this mysterious woman searching the library? Find out now on the Strahdcast. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Shuffle off this mortal coil and transport yourselves to the far, foggy realm of Barovia.
Why don't we just dive right back in
Oh boy.
with, who are you? What are you doing here? Answer immediately, your friend is going to get a little haircut.
Drogar's hand is right next to this woman's face.
Okay, I actually wasn't sure what that sound was.
and there is a 4th level guiding bolt charge. Just like...
You think you can blast my head off before I cut his throat?
Easy, friend. We're all here for the same reason.
And what reason might that be?
To defeat the devil.
Well said, Artemis. Perhaps this lovely young lady would remove the knife from my friend's throat.
Perhaps the cranky old dragon would remove his hand from my face.
I think we can all lower our weapons and have a civilized conversation. Drogar.
She does a twirl of her hand and sticks the knife back into its sheath, and she releases her legs, and you notice, Artemis.
Wait, just for the visual, her legs are wrapped around Artemis's neck,
yeah.
and she's on his shoulders, and this knife is being brandished.
Well,
Thus.
so the way a Hurricane Rana typically plays out is that from the back or the front, either way, the attacker wraps their thighs around the victim's head and then swings their upper body down using the momentum to flip the victim over. So I would imagine that at this point she's straddling him on the ground.
I'm thinking a lot of things that I don't want to say right now.
I'm going to say them for you. For research purposes, is she facing forward or from the back?
We'll say that the way that they sort of ended up is she was Artemis's head was against her belly, and she had her legs wrapped around his neck.
Wow.
I'm gonna go take a cold shower.
Artemis is ready to stay here.
Artemis is ready to stay here and never leave Barovia.
I'm going to hold action.
All right, boys.
I'm sorry.
She brings the knife back out.
Put us on the same side of the table.
Roll for yams.
Yeah, so she puts the knife away and she releases her legs. And as she does so, you notice, Artemis, one of them felt very cool against your throat. And you hear the sort of whizzing of clockwork and gears. As she releases her legs, one of them from the knee down is metal and mechanical.
Wow.
Drogar sees this and is just like,
What is this contraption you have upon your foot?
And she ting, and she she has what the foot is healed and a dagger comes out of the ankle, and she just holds it. I don't want to knock this beer over, but she just and puts it right up to your throat.
and Drogar just goes, and then he holds it with both hands and he just goes.
It's just inspecting it.
Very, very interesting.
But yeah, she releases her legs and does a tumble back and comes to a standing position. I am sorry about that. You never know with what kind of character you're going to come across in a land like this.
Artemis shaking off a blush. It's nothing to apologize for. It's understandable.
You are enemies of the devil? How can I be sure?
Well, where do we start?
We could tell you so many stories.
Perhaps how we recently sent his bride screaming through the ether back to his castle.
Oh! I'll pull out Anastraya's skull mask from my bag,
Cool.
and
Ah.
I'll just show that to her.
She extends a hand and takes it. Ah, yes, I have seen this before.
You have?
Is the mask of the little one, yes? All right. I'm more convinced. But people in this valley trust too much. They are under the yoke of an eternal psychopath, and still they trust too easily. I am not so foolish as them. She hands the mask back to you. How do you kill a vampire? She crosses her arms and kind of leans up against one of the bookshelves. If you intend to kill him as you claim, you should know.
We'd love to know. I kind of just assumed I would
Can
punch him a
Drogar
lot.
roll either a religion or like a history as to like what he's learned
Sure.
over the ages from
Yeah.
where he comes from? It might
Sure.
be different here, but
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to think of things I have that are like not a lot.
that's a 15 DM.
Sure. Yeah.
What are the basics like stake through the heart?
Right. So you know that and as you've learned from the brides, you know their bodies can be destroyed in a myriad ways. But in order to finish the job, they need to be. There are a lot of things that can harm them. Running water hurts them, and their bodies can be damaged in a myriad of ways. But to kill them outright, you know that you need to drive a stake through their hearts while they lay in the coffins that they sleep in during the day.
Wow.
Well, your name is...
Answer the question first, and maybe we'll get to that later.
Oh, pardon me for trying to be polite. From my experience over the ages, driving a stake through the heart of the beast while they lay asleep in the coffin.
All right, seems you know a few things about killing monsters. What brings you here?
I think I've earned your name now.
You'll know you've earned it when I give it to you.
Why did no one tell me about this stake through the heart thing?
Oh, dang! Did Rictavio know that?
What did you say?
Do you know
Rictavio.
our friend Rictavio? He's a friend of ours. He lives in Vallaki with us.
Which we've liberated.
How do you know Rictavio?
You are allies with this Rictavio?
Mm-hmm. Unless that's bad.
We are.
Unless you, wait for it, really hate that guy.
Know him. That bastard taught me everything I know. Turned me into the most deadly creature in this valley, except perhaps maybe the devil himself. I know he's a right old bastard.
Why?
Why? What do you mean, why? He turned me into a weapon, which is useful enough, I am sure, but I can't help but wonder that there wasn't an easier way than to throw me into the wild without food or shelter, to let me starve in the cold for weeks on end, blind me and throw me into a den of horrifying monsters just so that I can find my own way out. Could drill me day and night, make me punch sheer walls until my knuckles bleed so that they may become iron that can pierce through armor. He turned me into a weapon, all right, and now that's all I am.
2 questions. 1, did he teach you that move with the thighs and the flippy thing?
No, that one I worked on myself.
Very impressive. Question number 2, do you know him by any other names?
Oh, good call.
Nice guy.
He is very fond of dreaming up aliases for himself. I'm sure there are any number he could go by.
Such as?
Well, in my day, he went by Patchwork, Samson, Striker, Cloud, Smoke, Gunderson. Pick your favorite.
Huh. That's cool.
Very peculiar.
Where did you meet him? Where were you living when all this was
He
happening?
killed my family.
He killed your family.
Yes.
Why?
That you'll have to ask him about. But enough of these things. I have revealed enough already. If you are allies of that man, you are no friend of mine.
We are allies in the fight against Strahd.
We had no knowing.
He's here? In this valley now?
No, he's in Vallaki.
That's in this valley.
Oh, yes, he is here. Yes. I thought you meant this valley, as in walled area, trees, and this old brain of mine is...
Well, if you are such chummy acquaintances with him, I'm sure he will be more than happy to recount to you the gruesome tale of my upbringing. But for now, I have not time to gossip and gab with some naysayers who just wandered into this abbey. I have business to be about.
Okay, then we have a question. Are you looking for the book about how Strahd got his powers?
Rictavio turned you onto this, I am sure.
Actually, no. One by the name of Dmitri.
Mardukov.
The winemaker?
Mm-hmm.
Their oldest son.
They've been here since before the devil came, so it makes sense their family would have some knowledge of this place. What did he tell you about it?
Not a whole lot. He's been looking all over for it. Maybe it can teach us something that might help us destroy the devil. He thought that this might be the place that it was. Are you looking for that too?
Indeed, I am.
Personally, I believe that is the only way to destroy the devil.
May just be. Of course, it could all be a wild goose chase.
It could, but...
I've been led on more than one in my time.
Well, so in your time, have you seen Velaki liberated and Lady Vakta stricken down?
Indeed, I have not.
Have you seen the wine returned?
No, I have understood that the casks have run dry in the city, so to speak.
I would urge you to look again.
Oh, is that right?
That is correct.
You're doing?
Our doing.
Quite an impressive list of accolades, if that's true.
Might I be so kind as to introduce myself and my companions?
Oh, at last. Manners, please.
I'm Kasle. Othro.
Kasle. Othro.
Just Kasle most of the time.
Short and simple. I like it.
Me too. Berserker Queen, maybe? Is that my title now?
I believe it is, Kasle.
Okay. Berserker Queen.
Lovely titles. Goodness, your reputation grows by the minute.
I'm Winnie. That's it.
Humility at last.
Artemis will do a deep bow. Artemis Silverbow, at your service.
Careful, you're liable to bump your nose on your knee.
Just showing proper respect.
Well, there are worse ways. And you, bringer of wines, liberator of cities.
I would like to correct, I did not say I did it alone, but that my
The hell he did.
I beg your pardon?
No, just saying, you had help is all.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, great. Yeah, great.
Did I miss something?
Did I miss something? I angrily agree.
I'm Drogar Stonebreath.
Very well. You have given me the power of your names. I suppose there is not too much risk in giving you mine back, especially if we are to be allies, as you so claim. You may call me Esmeralda Devine.
Ooh.
This is what she looks like.
Wow.
I'm in love.
Wow.
Yeah, you are.
She looks pretty cool.
Did you grow up here?
What an interesting question. My people are from here, though I did not grow up as such.
Oh.
Is she Vistani?
Are you from the Vistani people?
Again, I am not in the habit of handing out personal information to ones I have just met and, beaten so easily.
How did you get your leg to do that?
Well, I got it taken off by a werewolf, and I got it put back on by, a very gnomish fellow who is very handy with a pair of pliers.
Did this gnomish guy, he made that?
Indeed, he did.
Wow. Wow.
I was going to say I have seen such stuff in the dwarven cities, but nothing as intricate as that.
Oh, please, you're going to make me blush. It is rather handy, after all, and comes with several accessories I find quite liking to my taste.
Where does this gnomish guy?
Far away from here and quite out of reach, I'm afraid.
Where were you before you came here? We heard you just got here a couple days ago.
Before I came to the Abbey,
Mm-hmm.
making my way across the valley, trying to find ways to undo the devil's hold on this place. I seek his death, and if it is so true that you do as well, our causes very well may be aligned, though whether you are trustworthy I still retain in judgment.
What would you need for us to prove our trustworthiness?
Time, Master Drogar.
Very well, then time it shall be. But for the meantime, let us aid you in looking for this tomb.
Yes, the tome.
Do you have a description? There are many books here.
I have much more than that. Saint Markovia, as the legend goes, absconded with it when she led her failed rebellion on the castle so long ago, and hid it in the Abbey, I believe. And she kind of looks around and gestures to the library around it. This place holds more than just knowledge. Great secrets. I believe this to be the resting place of the wayward tome, but I cannot locate it. And she reaches into her jacket pocket and brings out a small notebook. I believe the clues to the location lie in here, but I cannot translate it. I believe there is a cipher I would need to translate the contents inside. Yet, alas, the cipher evades my grasp.
This cipher. Any idea where it might be
No, I have interrogated the abbot, but he seems rather cagey on the subject. I believe it could very well be hidden somewhere in these voluminous stacks of books, but it has so far eluded my searchings. The Journal of St. Markovia, I believe, is useless without the cipher.
Might I look on the journal?
That I think I will hold for now, at least until this cipher comes into our possession.
A cipher. Like, what is a cipher? Like, a cipher is like just a piece of paper with notes on it? Or it's like a...
Well, you see, Winnie, a cipher, in many terms, is a translation for something, or perhaps a code that you would use when you... Oh, I'm sorry, you were asking her.
Does he do that often?
My apologies.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've done that, and I was...
Kay knows about ciphers. Kaz certainly doesn't. Kay's most familiar cipher would be the Caesar's cipher, which is where you assign a number to each letter of the alphabet and then phase shift it by 13. A becomes M, and like B becomes what's after M, N, etc.
It's that. It's sort of like a transcription assigning one value to another. And if you have that, you can sort of decode a hidden message.
I misspoke. It's not always 13. It is a number.
Think of it as a key that will unlock the true meaning of what is of the contents of this journal.
How the heck do you find that? If you don't even know what it looks like?
It would be a list of values, maybe words, maybe letters, maybe numbers, that would allow you to translate. But all my efforts to try and ascertain its location from the Abbot have failed. Perhaps, with your clearly abundant charms, you could work a bit more out of him than I have been able to.
Well, it seems that the Abbot and our party disagree on some ways of delivering the light to the people of this valley.
I'm liking you more by the minute.
But more importantly, the magic that he uses on the people that he claims to save. It is not the light, it is something else. It is twisted.
Yes, the poor souls he has tending the gardens and fetching the water and opening the doors.
How does he do that?
That, I cannot say.
You cannot say, or you do not know.
Pick one.
Can't or won't.
Should, but
Is it under your
short.
impression that he does have the cipher and he's just not giving it to you?
I cannot say for sure. He is hard to read. If he doesn't have it, I believe the cipher itself may be hidden somewhere in these stacks, and I will continue my search, but I cannot say for sure at this moment.
Is there anything that we could do? We have some magic here. Anything you think would help?
At this moment, I am not sure. It may very well be that it is hidden elsewhere in the Abbey. Perhaps you could search the grounds in some way.
Drogar wants to detect magic on them.
Sure. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn the school of magic, if any.
And it is concentration up to 10 minutes, so you could perhaps cast it and like walk around for 10
So
minutes.
Drogar is going to do that. Drogar is going to just do he's going to go,
Perhaps I can find something that you cannot. Perhaps.
I think it astonishingly unlikely, but please, by all means.
so Drogar will cast Detect Magic and will walk the route of the bookcases and just see if anything at all pops up to him.
Sure, yeah. Casting or doing it, because it is also a ritual, so you could do it as a ritual spell.
I was gonna concentration it up to 10 minutes and walk.
It'll be concentration either way. It's just if you can either cast it using a spell slot, or if you do it as a ritual, it'll take
10 minutes?
10 minutes to do. Yeah, it'll take 10 minutes to cast, but then you don't have to expend a spell slot.
Let me do it as a ritual.
Sure.
So Drogar sits down on his knees and he goes, by the light, it's been a long time since I've done this. He pulls out a journal and he pulls out a piece of chalk. Oh, dear me. And he flips it upside down.
Artemis leans into Esmeralda and goes, this may take a while.
While we're waiting, what's your deal?
Are you seeing anybody right now? What are you doing tomorrow night? And Drogar does that very, like, Full Metal Alchemist, like, and puts his hands on the ground, and it just, his hands start to glow, and then he just walks around the bookcases and just detects magic.
Cool.
Winnie was like watching that very closely. She's never ritual casted anything ever, and was just like watching all this go down. And I'll trail behind you while you detect.
And as Drogar is detecting, he goes, you see, Winnie, when you have more time, you expend less magic in the process. Now, as we have been in the course of battle, we cannot take the time that is needed. We must expend the magic as it comes to us. But in this situation, well, I don't know Esmeralda, but I think we're fairly safe with the four of us. I don't mind taking my time.
What does it feel like when you're detecting? Is it like you're getting hotter and you're getting colder?
It is like you are in the dark. There is a faint light at the edge, and as you walk toward it, it gets brighter.
Anything getting brighter?
Not yet.
So yeah, as you complete your ritual, Drogar, and the sort of aura of detection, you sort of reach out with your spirit, so to speak, and try and touch the tendrils of magic that may exist around you. You actually kind of get this comfortable, familiar upswell as the familiar warmth of holy magic touches your consciousness. Mm-hmm. It's not any one object in here, but this whole place. It's like just a faint trace. You can tell that this was once a concentration and conflagration of the light. Mm-hmm. It was once very strong from this place. Have you ever just been in a room, maybe a concert hall or something, after the music stops, the air still kind of rings? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that. It's just like that echo, that faint, the air is still vibrating from the leftover energy of what came before. Other than that, you do not detect anything particular or specific.
And he kind of runs his hands over the last bookcase and he stops and he just goes,
"The light is very powerful here, Winnie. It's like an echo. But there is no magic here that I can tell."
And he speaks up to Esmeralda.
If the book is here, it does not have any arcane essence about it.
This whole place used to be a repository of the light before the devil came here. You hear the stories of my people traveling through these lands, bringing their wares and goods to the Zenobians long before the devil came. Wondrous things they told of. We still sing the songs of those times, of the Zenobians and their rainbow hair. But that is long gone.
What have I told you that Zenobia is coming back?
What do you mean?
We have toiled and troubled much in this land since we have come. And the greatest of our accomplishments is that Vallaki is now a free city.
I would call you naive.
Well, our alliances that we have made between the Berserkers and Davian and Dimitri and Erwin.
It's small still, but there's a resistance building in Vallaki.
We defeated Lady Walker, and for a moment, I could see the sky.
She strides across the room up to you, Drogar, and gets right up in your face, and just kind of something weird happens. She walks up to you, and she looks into your eyes, and you see for a moment this strange flame ripple across her irises. And as she's locking eyes with you, I see no lie in your eyes. Though whether what you say is true, or you're just stupid enough to believe it, I still cannot tell. I have been here a long time, and I have seen much, and I think the fight has gone out of these people. You say they turn to resistance again. I'll believe it when I see it.
Travel to Vallaki and see it for yourself.
The secret was wine.
She's not wrong.
Got people drunk enough, you can convince them to do all sorts of stupid things.
And sometimes they're right.
You are a curious bunch.
I think that your error is thinking that we are ordinary, for we are anything but.
We're weird.
And single. And while this conversation is going on, I want to be walking around looking for any seams in the wall or anything, or secret bookcases. So you'll just hear chimed in from across the library.
And single! Single!
Do you say that?
Yes!
Roll for initiative.
I want to do it kind of offhand, as I'm rubbing my hand on the wall, looking for a seam or something.
Give me an investigation check.
Running my hand along
And
the
a
wall.
Constitution saving
It's
throw.
suggestive to women.
Not great. Investigation, you say? can I trade you for survival?
No.
That's a 6 investigation.
So you're like moving along the bookshelves, running your hands over them, and as you say "and single," she whips around and lifts up her prosthetic leg, and out from the knee burst the arms of a crossbow. And a bolt fires out of her kneecap and comes to, like, as you're putting your hands along the bookshelf, like, right between two of your fingers.
Drogar sees the knee and just goes, "Oh!"
I think I would pause and then like look at who's nearest to me. Drogar or Kaz, maybe.
I feel like it's probably me, just because like these two are conversationalists, and
I think I'd look at Kaz and be like, I think I'm in love.
Yeah, and so as you sort of like freeze there with the crossbow bolt, like she like just like bullseye right between your searching fingers, and she says, "Oh, oops, thought I saw a spider."
I'll pull it out of the wall, the bolt, and then hand it back to her. I think you dropped something.
Yes. Your jaw.
And he'll just kind of give her a bow, slight bow of the head, and then like continue on my way, blushing and searching the walls.
And she like and just smacks it back into her.
Listen, I think I really want this for you. Let's just like play it cool for a little bit.
Okay.
Drogar, standing at full height, just kind of leans down to Esmeralda and goes, "Be gentle with the poor boy."
Perhaps there is some truth in what you say. Perhaps I may travel to Vallaki and see what it is you claim I may see, but my work here must be completed first. I have things here well in hand, but if you are allies, if we are to be allies, as you so claim.
When we are to be allies.
And Drogar kind of gives her a wink.
Winds are not but wind.
Well, if you had been listening to the wind, you would have heard it shift recently.
I suppose I've just been closed up in here for too long, trying to save the valley.
Where's St. Markovia now?
Long dead.
Of like normal stuff?
I believe one of the lucky ones, yes. The army she brought to the castle was not so fortunate, but she escaped with her life and the tome, and came back here to live out the rest of her days.
Where's your final resting spot?
An astute question. You can find it in the hall below here.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
Maybe we should go there.
I would like to see the St. Markovia.
By all means.
Have you been down there?
Oh, yes, many times.
Do you want to show us how to get there?
If you are all as accomplished as you make it sound, surely you can find your way on your own. I have much to do here. I will appreciate your help, but I have the library well in hand. Please, do whatever it is you do, and perhaps our stars will cross in the line. Sometimes, working in two different directions, you come round and find each other on the other side.
Very well said. Well, should you find yourself in Vallaki, ask for Danica. She is the head of the resistance there.
Sounds like a fairy tale, but we are already in a land cursed, cast in shadow, ruled over by an evil psychopath. I suppose we're living in a scary story already.
We once thought it to be a fairy tale, just as you now. And then it became a reality.
I hope what you say is true, but in all my time I have learned better than to hope. It is a drug that can cripple as easy as inspire.
Who taught you that? That it cripples rather than inspires?
I have learned it through years of hard living and well-earned lessons.
I think we'll leave you to it for now. If you find anything interesting, we'll be around. We would love to help.
This has been an unexpected meeting, but an interesting one. I still do not quite trust you yet, but that is my nature. Don't take it personally.
We've dealt with worse.
Being here for as long as you have, I don't doubt it.
You should have seen the first time we ran into the berserkers. Right, Kaz?
Those scantily clad chaps in the forest to the west.
Well, when you put it that way. You're damn right.
Oh, we should also mention that the druids are no longer a problem.
Will your list of accomplishments never cease?
Well, that's how Kaz, I should say, earned the respect of the Berserkers.
A rustic hearty folk. Good in a fight. Well done.
I also tackled Straw that one time. That was fun.
That was during the dinner. Wait, we still have not talked about our dinners.
Mm-hmm. Goodness, oh my. It seems you have many stories to tell. Perhaps if we survive all of this, we can share stories over a glass of this wine you have miraculously returned.
We did bring some here to Kresk, which I intend to partake in at some point while we're staying here in Kresk.
Which, if you contact the head of the watch, the captain, he'll be sure to give you some of the champagne de l'Eston.
Not a bad way to start to test if what you say is true.
Now, if you can show us where the leads down to the crypt. Thank you.
She points authoritatively.
Drogar will give him a bow and just kind of...
Careful, old man, don't break something.
I'll have you know.
I'm sure you would have me know a lot.
As you say, I will have you know, I grab you by the hand and start dragging
I'll have you know. Just pull off the up to...
Heading to the St. Markovia's final resting place.
Okay.
Sight.
Yeah, as everybody's headed out the door, I'll kind of like ding 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 and turn around, and is Esmeralda just like, has she gone back to looking?
She moves back to the desk that she was perched over when you first entered. And sort of like sloths back in her chair and brings over another book, picks up a quill, dabs it on her tongue, and starts like scribbling away. You can hear the scratching of her quill on the parchment is the only sound in the room as you just kind of like crouch there for a moment until you hear her say, she doesn't even pick her eyes back up from the book that she's looking at. Something else you needed, little one.
And I'll run back over there really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just be like, Esmeralda. We have met some people along the way that I have gotten really excited, like they're going to help us out a lot. And then I have gotten really disappointed, and it makes me so sad. And I just wanted to ask you, because our friend Rudy has been really helpful to us for a while, and I just wanted to ask you more about that. I feel like scared because he's a really big part of this with us now, and he's given us a lot of important information, and we've been trusting him, and then when you find out something bad about somebody that you've been trusting, it doesn't feel good.
You are young. There is something you need to learn about disappointment, Winnie. It waits around every corner and behind every pair of eyes. However, do not think of it as a loss. She picks her head up from her book and kind of swivels around in her chair and like puts her elbows on her knees and kind of leans down to look at you. Every time you find it and manage to hold on to yourself, it's a victory. Wear those lessons learned like armor, and nothing can ever hurt you.
I don't think I'm very good at that yet.
I think you're better than you know. Let me answer your question with a question. This Rudy, as you know him, what's he like?
He's kind of funny, and he's old, but then he's also still really strong. And it's like he's been working on this for so long. It's like he's this rock, and this river is like flowing around him, and whoever comes along past this rock that he is, he's like, oh, maybe you can help. And then it feels like we just flowed in his direction, and then he just told us everything that he could that would help us. That's what it feels. I just feel like ever since he showed us who he was, he hasn't stopped showing us who he is, and I like it. I like him. I like who he is.
What has he tried to get you to do?
Doesn't try to get us to do anything, really. He's just told us stuff that would help us do the things that we're already doing. I think.
Well, if what you say is true, it seems he's changed quite a lot in our time apart. I have to wonder what it is that makes you all so special, that he's free and open with you.
I'm not trying to change your mind, and I'm not trying to tell you that you don't know what you know. I just want to make sure that I know what I know.
I wonder if it is not two people we speak of.
When was the time then he was told a knife to your throat? How long was that?
Many years.
How many is many years? This many?
More. I don't want to take away the man you knew, young one. I hope he is as you say. Truly I do. Because if so, he would make a far better tutor for you than he was for me. But I hope you will not admonish me for saying, I wish I knew the man you know.
Okay, thanks. I'm sorry I made you have bad memories.
You didn't. He did.
Your leg is super cool.
I know.
I'll see you again, yeah?
I hope so.
Okay, can you send a message?
Matter of fact, I can.
Okay.
Run along.
Winnie! just Drogar like sticking his head back and like, oh!
Go on now.
I'll run along.
Oh, little one. She picks up her knee, and the arms of the crossbow come out again, and she just takes the bolt up out of her knee. Saw you admiring it earlier. She kind of like tosses it through the air to you. Saved my skin more than a few times.
Okay, thanks.
Use the pointy end on the bad guys.
I do know that. I know that I figured that out. And I'll run away. Put it in my bag.
All you hear from off screen is, my God, Winnie, what is that you have in your hands? Crossbow!
Don't run with that.
I look away for 5 minutes and you've got a crossbow bolt.
So making your way down to the resting place.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's the floor below this library floor that you have entered into. And you make your way in, and the entire room, it's like a cathedral hall. I don't know if anyone's ever been to, like Canterbury Cathedral or something of that nature.
Yeah.
It's a long, open room with sort of stained glass windows flanking the sides. And it's completely empty except for on the far end, this long, smooth marble tomb. Behind it, a statue of a woman with she's sort of got like that Joan of Arc haircut, with the bangs and kind of like tracing the chin. And she's in like full plate armor. She's got a big book in one hand, and she's raising a morning star in the other, like above her head.
Wow.
And Drogar is like beaming.
I think Kaz is too, like fucking badass lady.
Yeah. You sort of make your way up to the tomb, and it's almost like there's an effect in here that's like maybe it's just that the windows are left like with a little space for air to move through, or you can't quite be sure what creates the effect, but it's almost like as you approach the tomb, you sort of just hear a ooh, like a humming and a chanting as you approach the grave itself.
It's like when you go into the Temple of Time in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, it's like that.
Where's the singing coming from?
Yeah, it's like that.
Well done, everyone.
Drogar, as we walk in, will kind of just put like a hand on Winnie's back and just be like, "This, Winnie, is a tomb shrouded in light. Can you feel the energy in this room?" Yeah. Yes. And Drogar will be the first to kind of walk up and will like step up to like the tomb and like drop to a knee and like in Draconic do like a prayer of essentially like, a saint who serves the light, I see you, I recognize you, may you rest, eternal in the light's embrace.
As you move towards the tomb and kneel down and look back up, the way that the windows are displayed behind the statue, at that angle, like kneeling before it and looking up, at that angle, it creates a sort of halo effect around the statue. And it almost, like, with the light dancing across it, it almost makes her look alive again.
So cool. So the last time we encountered a burial site that made Kaz feel this sense of reverence was the Tomb of Gavan.
Yeah.
So I think it's very strange to her that like we're in this very like cultivated, built environment. Like the last time it was in nature, and that's what she's used to. But yeah, just this the respect that she has for like ancestry and the dead just like overcomes her, and she does something similar. Like she will kneel too, like on 2 knees, and just have like that open palm stance that she does when she's like meditating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Artemis is gonna like step up to Drogar, and like Drogar kneeling, I imagine is like close to Artemis's height. So I'll kind of like put my hand on Drogar's shoulder, and as he does that, Artemis will like finger the amber sign
amulet.
that he
Got
has.
for you.
And then I'd like to then walk up to the statue and like look around, like maybe at the book, and just look for signs of something being hidden here that maybe they hid
great.
that page.
Yes.
Great.
While everybody's doing that, I go to the foot end of the tomb and I give it a hug. And I'll hold it like this, and I'll just lay my head on it while everybody's doing their kneeling. And I'll say, "Oh, talking. Good job.
Talking.
Good job."
I love that.
Oh, talking.
Oh, talking.
Everyone shows reverence in their own way.
Winnie, as you hug it, it's kind of warm still.
Wow.
It feels like like if you pick up a rock from a beach on a hot day, like it's been baked with the sun.
Like the hot stone massage.
Yeah.
I'll remember the last time I was in a church was in the dream, and that after I woke up from that dream meeting the Way Warden, the scars on my shoulders were warm to the touch, and I'll just kind of feel like the warmth of something being present there and letting you know it's there.
Always. No matter how dark things get. Artemis, give me an investigation check, which we know is your favorite.
No!
Hey, what'd you get?
6 on the die, so that's a 7.
+1. Okay, so you're sort of investigating the book that the statue is holding
That
in one
would
hand.
be like where I would start. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's got it like in the crook of her arm out to one side, and then she's got the Morning Star held aloft. So you are sort of looking at the front of the book. And what you notice on the front of the book, there is a sort of symbol like a sun with an almost like gemstone at the center of it. That is painted very faintly, like the color has been worn over time, perhaps, but it's a very faint sort of ruby color, and that's emblazoned on the facade of the book. And you begin to maybe inspect more closely, or look over more of the statue when a voice sort of cuts through the air. She was beautiful, wasn't she? And you kind of turn your head and see the abbot standing at the far end of the hall.
That she was. And we hope to honor her memory.
Drogar stands.
It is her memory that brought me to this place as well. I hoped to carry the torch that she did all those years ago. Alas, I was not fit for the task.
Well, maybe you're fit to help us complete that task.
Maybe you are fit to help me.
As long as we accomplish the same goal, doesn't matter to me who lands the final blow.
Well said. Have you enjoyed your time in the Abbey?
So far it has been pleasant. It has been a break from the darkness that shrouds this land.
I had long hoped it would become a place of safety and renewal for the people of this valley. Yet they turned their eyes from it, suspicious, for one reason or another. I suspect the fell workings of the devil himself, turning the people from what might be a safe haven for them, cloud their eyes, turn their sight.
I think, Sir Abbot, the people are more concerned with the magic that enshrouds the people that stay here. They do not understand what it is they have become.
Yes, it is most unfortunate. Though, as I said, the horrible disease that afflicted them, I could think of no other way to save their lives. I know they come off a bit rough-spun, but they are good folk. You have seen that yourself, I hope.
What was the disease?
Ate their flesh, poisoned their minds. They were not much more than groveling husks of flesh when they came here. At least I've given them a life to live, a second chance.
How do you do this? Where do you get the animal parts? How do you do what you do?
I am gifted by the same force that bestows your power, young one, and you, Master Drogar. Indeed, that which brings life to all corners of the world. The light.
How do you decide what animals go into helping what person?
Well, I didn't decide, so to speak. It was more a question of what was on hand.
What is on hand? Where are these animals?
You ask many questions. An inquisitive and curious mind is a gift indeed. But please, friends, we've spoken enough of dark things for today. Let us turn our attentions to lighter fare. I do hope you shall accept my invitation to stay the evening here with me. It will be a most safe respite for you all.
Before we rest for the night, in the presence of the saint, do you have any knowledge of this cipher that can help us decode the journal that may?
Cipher? Decode? I'm afraid I don't know what you speak.
Can I roll an insight to see if he's lying to me or not?
Sure.
Who am I, Alan Turing?
Oh, Tyler! Oh, no!
We've had so few die rolls tonight.
They've all been bad.
At least I have good insight. That's an 8.
You're trying to read his expression, but you kind of get lost in his eyes. He's very handsome.
God damn it, those devilish good looks!
So then I lose my train of thought and I say, did I tell you I'm single?
Artemis, now is not the time!
So I don't know. I feel tempted to do the same, knowing that A, he's not my type, and B, that I'm just listening. I'm not watching him.
Sure, go ahead.
With a +1, 13.
13?
Yeah.
It's hard to judge. He seems genuine to you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just like the voice that's creeping in. As I feel like he comes in and I recognize his voice immediately, and I'm just like I'm over this guy. I'm just having this moment. I'm trying to have this moment with Saint Markovia, and I'm just like listening to what he's saying. And
Yeah, you can't quite tell. And in fact, all of you, as you try to read more into this individual, it's like, maybe Barovia has been taking a toll on you a little bit. Maybe you are growing a little suspicious and bitter, having seen so many horrible things here. He does genuinely seem like he wants to help.
no, he seems like he's given up. He seems useless. Like to Kaz, he's just like, all right, do what you're gonna do, but you're not gonna help us.
Trying a different way.
Yeah.
While they're all talking about this, I'm gonna just take a little walk just around the tomb and just kind of run my hand over it. I'm kind of keeping my eyes peeled too for any text anywhere.
On the tomb itself. I keep going back at
I know.
I've introduced a tome and a tomb in this episode.
Is the abbot's name Tom?
Oh! Tom, the Tome Man Tomb Maker.
oh God, no. That joke makes my stomach. That joke makes my stomach hurt. I need a Tums.
Tommy, right now.
This is too much.
Oh, Lord in heaven. Okay. You find on the tomb. The tomb. The same thing you saw inscribed on the plaque at the front of the Abbey.
Ah, yeah. The light
May
thing.
her light cure all ills.
Seeing that, I'll turn to the abbot and say, is this how she cured people's ills? Turning them into animal creatures?
Well, I cannot rightly say. She was operating at a time when the devil had had less time to infect his sinister malfeasance on this land. Perhaps she was able to work more miracles than I.
What time is it?
We will say at this point the sun is starting to get low.
I think Winnie's sleepy.
The hour grows late, friends, and it has been I am sure you have had quite a trying time. Please, do come. Rest. Lay your heads here. It will be a respite for you. You are not forced to stay here by any means. I simply want to extend an invitation.
I'll look at everybody.
I feel like I don't feel in any danger here. I feel like it's a little bit of a downer, but I'm not in danger.
Where do we sleep?
I'm so glad you asked. Vasilka has been has fetched fresh linens and prepared a suite for all of you.
I'm sure they smell like lilacs and lavender.
Please, do come this way.
I'm sure it'll be the best sleep of my life and I'll resent it for months.
He leads you again through sort of the wings of the Abbey to a guest room. And coming in, indeed, like fine beds are laid out for you with like feather pillows, silken sheets, and there are in fact like flower petals like laid across
gracious.
And as you're walking in, Vasilka is sort of like scattering the last of the petals, which gives a nice, a pleasant fragrance to the room. And as you enter into the room, she like finishes her work and then gives you a deep bow. I hope you will find your accommodations pleasant.
This is wonderful. Thank you.
Most welcome. I am always prepared to do whatever I can to make our guests as happy as can be.
Good job, Vasilka. Great work.
Tell me, Vasilka, were those creatures, the ones upstairs, were they once guests of yours as well?
You mean those the master has saved?
Yes.
Well, indeed, they have been in residence here for many a day. They are content, satisfied, even with their lot. They are kept busy, well fed. They lead a pleasant life that suits them fine.
This is like a really big question, Vasilka. Did you ever have this sickness that everybody else had?
No. Thankfully, I was spared the same illness, but I am a humble servant to the master nonetheless.
Did you come here just looking for him, or did you come here with him?
He brought me here.
Very well, Vasilka. Thank you. That will be all.
If there is anything else you need, please. And she kind of like extends a hand. Next to the door that you came through, there's a small golden bell on a pillow. Please, just ring it, and I shall attend to your needs.
Vasilka, do you have like comfy jammies? Or like nightgown or something?
I can see what I can fetch from the linen closet, yes.
Okay.
Let me see what I can rustle up for you. Is there anything else you'll be needing?
That will be all.
Well, as I say, if there is anything else you need, and she kind of crosses the room and picks up the bell, just give me a ring. And she rings it, and a necklace around her neck rings in unison with the bell.
I hate it. I hate it a lot.
And she goes, bows deeply and goes.
How many beds are there?
Well, there are 6 in the room, so plenty for all of you.
Okay.
Great. Artemis is going to lean into Drogar and say, where do you think Esmeralda's sleeping?
Why, are you planning on joining her?
I mean, if she'll have me. I mean, no, of course not.
My dear boy, she tried to kill you.
You say kill, I say thrill.
My dear friend, there are quite subtleties that you should learn if you're going to approach women in this sense.
Maybe.
As for one, dodge the arrow.
It didn't hit me. It seemed like she was flirting. I don't know. I returned it to her.
Flirting, he says. Well, I'll be sure to pray for your soul.
As this conversation is happening in the background, Winnie has chosen the bed closest to the door and it's the biggest bed she's been in by herself in a while, and is tucking Tally-Ho in on his own pillow. He has his own pillow.
Sure, fuck with my heartstrings. Yeah, right.
Artemis sees that and like shakes his head as sorry I said anything, and walks away.
So
Drogar is very suspicious. Drogar is pacing.
Yeah, I know Artemis definitely wants to set a watch tonight. I don't want all of us to be sleeping at the same time, even though I feel safe. I'm
Okay.
suspicious.
are we settling into bed down?
Yeah, I think so. I think Kaz would notice Drogar and perhaps Artemis pacing. And feeling very, like, Kaz feels very safe here. Kaz feels safe, but just, like, put off. Like, she's prepared to have the best sleep of her life and then resent it. So I think she sees you guys pacing and just goes,
Should I take this to mean that you two get the first 2 watches?
No, I will handle the first watch. Artemis will take the second.
That's literally what I just said. All right, number 3's on me. Good night. Thump.
Can I take the first one? Because I really, really want to sleep all through the night. I don't have to get up in the middle of the night.
Very well, Winnie, you may join me if you wish.
Old man, you can take the second watch this way. You can get a little more sleep uninterrupted.
Oh, you don't need to tell me twice.
All right, so Winnie first watch, Drogar second, third, fourth.
Sure.
Okay, great. Excellent. Anything else before we go to bed? Pasha is also here. I
was going to ask. I couldn't remember if he was playing in the woods.
No, well, you brought him in, right?
I think
Did we?
Wait,
I know. I can't remember if he chose to play in the woods.
Don't feel bad. We all need to be better about remembering where Pasha is.
I always forget where Sasha is, too.
She's around.
I think he's taken to turning himself into a bat and sleeping in Sasha's fur.
Aw, that's good.
Perfect.
That is cute.
It's very cute. Does your girl, whose name I can't find in my 5 different campaigns now,
Esmeralda.
Vasilka, does she come back with a nightgown or jammies or something?
Yes. So as you're like settling in, she does. You hear a faint, just a very faint.
I'll run over and I'll open the door.
Mm-hmm. And she has sat upon a pillow, a really lovely, like high thread count, like teeny tiny little set of pajamas. I believe this must have belonged to an acolyte in days past.
Wow.
It should suit you just splendidly.
Thank you.
And she hands it to you.
Okay, thank you. That's it. Do you get to go sleep somewhere nice too?
Oh yes, my chambers are quite lovely, thank you.
Okay. See you in the morning.
Good night.
This bed looks really comfortable. I'm sleeping in the nude.
Kaz gets naked.
Take it in, everybody.
The thread count feels luxurious upon your naked body.
I knew it would.
And you instantly pass out.
I'll change into my nice jammies somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go sit with my tally-ho by the door to take the first watch.
You do so, and the rest of you sort of tuck in. The pleasant fragrance given off by these flower petals is very calming and soothing. Kind of lulls you into it sort of lulls you off to sleep. And before too long, like almost as soon as your head hits the pillow, y'all conk out. And when you take the first watch,
Wake me up if you get tired.
Okay. Once I feel like I've felt everybody in the room fall asleep, I would like to leave.
I shake my fists angrily at a nightmare I'm having that's unrelated to the current situation.
Son of a bitch.
I would like to try and just take my tally-ho and in my little jammies just sneak out of the door.
So
Is this revenge for Death House, Winnie?
Can I argue that she has to make a stealth roll?
Well, let's find out now.
You're asleep. Like, what are we gonna do?
So after maybe like 20 minutes or so,
Waiting patiently.
this the aroma of the flower petals really lulls everyone off to sleep, and it's not too long before you hear the booming snores of Drogar, and they just you feel pretty confident that after a little while everyone is sort of lulled off to sleep. So yeah, if you want to make me a stealth check at disadvantage to sneak out of the room.
Disadvantage?
Or at advantage, I'm sorry. At advantage because everyone is sleeping.
Let me give you my unlucky
Sasha
die.
never sleeps.
15.
15. If you'll allow me, I'm just gonna roll for everybody.
I mean, I wouldn't make you roll for me. My passive is like 11.
Okay. So that's okay. I'm gonna give you like the -10 because you're all asleep. I'm gonna say you make it.
Okay. I will just slip out of the door and then just really quietly close the door behind me.
Okay.
You sneaky mom.
The hour is late.
Devil.
Abbey is quiet around you.
Okay. I'll cast light on Tally-Ho's eyes and point them kind of towards the ground as I walk. as I try and find my way back, kind of towards the dining room.
Okay, you do so.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
your teeny tiny little feet pitter patter on the stone floors and echo around the chambers as you go, but you move with the sort of like headlights of Tally-Ho's eyes on the lookout before you.
Okay. And then I'll try and remember from where I am in the dining room where Vasilka was coming from when she was bringing food out.
Yeah, there's a staircase off to the side.
Okay.
That she was going up and down.
Okay. And let's say that I have like my little bag with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go and try and find the kitchen or a food store or something.
Okay. You make your way off to the kitchen on the side on that same floor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look through the pantries for? I don't even know what I'm looking for.
snackies?
I'm looking for snackies.
Yeah, you
I'm
open it
looking
up
for
and you
midnight
find it.
snackies.
You find it remarkably well provisioned.
Mm-hmm.
The larders in Barovia, you have come to learn, are not generally
The
very.
sweets rolls?
Yeah, they're not sort of like, there's not a lot of diversity. But here you find a number of like loaves of bread that seem to be, well baked, and some hearty vegetables that you're familiar with, and even maybe like a few strips of like salted meat.
Okay.
That is something of a delicacy here.
Yeah.
About.
I'll grab.
This is like Jungle Town. There's always like animals running about.
I'll grab any carrots if there's carrots.
There are.
I'll grab a bunch of carrots, and I'll grab a loaf of bread or two, and some salted meat. And now I'm looking for something for dessert.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Sweet.
Something sweet. Ah. 5.
Do I have a sweets roll?
A 5, you find some oatmeal raisin cookies.
Dang it!
What's wrong with oatmeal raisin?
It's my favorite.
not-
It's my favorite.
I just know it's not hers.
No! It's not chocolate chips. Okay, and then I'll go back down to the dining room with all my stuff, and I'll kind of hang my bag on the back of my chair, and I'll just take off like a little piece of bread and a little piece of carrot, and I'll just hop up in one of the big chairs, and I'll just sit for a little bit.
Okay.
Alone in the dining room in my nice jammies. And I'll just sit and look around and listen to the quiet and eat my carrot and eat my bread and look at the symbol of the Morning Lord that's up in this room. And I'm feeling emboldened by having met the Way Warden recently. And I'm feeling just a little bit invincible and a little bit like I have so many questions and I don't know when to ask them. So I'm just going to sit quietly and listen for a little bit. Do I hear anybody moving around?
You do. You hear the sort of scraping footsteps and clacking sound of Cloven Bellevue.
Okay. I'm going to hop off my chair then. And I'm going to, is there anywhere I can hide in this room?
Sure, yeah, there's a bunch of, you could do under the table. There's like maybe some like cabinets or shelves. Like pick your poison.
I'm going to climb up in a cabinet and shut myself in a little cabinet. Like that would not be normal person sized.
Right. You do so. Shutting yourself in and sort of peeking out through the crack in the door. The crack in the door, you see him come into the room. He's sort of mumbling under his breath. Ungrateful, lazy slug of bitch. Oh, do this, Cloven, do that. Take care of the filthy mongrels. Not that they're worth the food we throw them. What's that? And he walks over to the table and sees the items that you brought out and left on the table. Oh, sneaking in the dead of night like the filthy vermin they are. Cloven knows who it is. It was that filthy Otto always scarping off. I'll show him.
Wait.
You pop out. You, what are you doing here?
I got hungry in the middle of the night. Carrots is my favorite food, And I tried to steal some when we first got here, and I almost got us in really big trouble, and then I found some and I couldn't help myself.
You've broken the rules, little lady.
I didn't know that was the rules.
No one's allowed to be out in the Abbey after dark.
I didn't know that.
Ignorance is no excuse from the law.
Okay.
We'll have to take you to the master.
No!
And we'll see what he has to say. I think he'll be rather pleased to see you.
Wait. Can I take my carrots with me?
I don't see why not.
Okay, I'll pack up all my stuff and I will just go with him.
Walk this way.
Wait, I had to pee. Where do I do that?
Oh, no. There's no time bringing you right to the master. Right to the master. That's where you'll go.
Can I just please go back to my bed? I won't eat any more things. I really didn't know I was supposed to get up in the middle of the night. I had really nice jammies and I really wanted to do a walk around.
Give me a persuasion check.
12.
Cloven never got nice jammies. Cloven never got to do a walk around. Cloven never gets to eat snackies after bedtime. Oh, no. We'll be bringing you right to the master, and we'll see what he has to say about this. Come with me!
Cloven only ever gets the oatmeal raisin cookie.
Damn it! I'm going with him.
I'm so scared.
He leads you upstairs, up that flight of stairs where Vasilka was coming up and down.
Mm-hmm.
He leads you up the staircase, and you make your way up to the a door, outside of which now you see Otto, sort of posted sentry outside. And as you make your way up, he looks up at you, and his eyes kind of go bright, and he wags his donkey tail.
Oh, I remember you.
Hey, Otto.
Hi, Winnie. Oh, what are you doing out of bed?
I was just feeling hungry. I didn't know it was against the rules to get a midnight snack.
Oh, I understand. Oh, Cloven, she's a guest and new here. Surely we can forgive her a little bit for breaking the rules.
And he kind of snaps his claw and says,
That's enough out of you. Your job is not to argue on behalf of the master's guest. Yours is to open the door.
Oh, okay. I open the door. That's what I do.
Do you open the door all the time?
Well, during the day I'm outside. People don't come to the Abbey after dark, so after that I open the door to the master's chamber.
When do you sleep?
What?
When do you sleep?
Oh, when I find the time.
Sleeping ain't what he does.
Yes, opening the door, that's your task. Yeah, so do it now already, won't you?
Oh, okay.
And he opens the door and allows you inside. Inside, a sort of rich perfume sense washes over you. It's dimly lit by candles in sconces all across the walls. Huge 4-poster bed in one area with bright gold wrappings, sort of making their way draped around the 4 posters. Vasilka stands in one corner, just standing there, and you find the Abbot sitting at a desk. And as you sat over it, kind of scratching out some notes on a piece of paper, as you make your way in, Cloven looks to says,
I found this one scarpering around after dark, stealing out of their larder. I thought I'd bring her right to you. You figured would know what to do, master.
And he holds up a hand and says, Cloven, please, while I do admire your enthusiasm, there is no need to treat our guests with such hostility. Winnie here is a very special guest. And he turns around. Won't you sit with me a moment, Winnie?
Mm-hmm. I'll go sit wherever.
He kind of pulls a chair out for you. And he says, Cloven, you may go.
Oh, master, this is highly irregular. Don't you want to, Cloven?
You may go. And he turns and kind of makes
Yeah.
his way out. The master looks at you, smiling warmly. You know, I believe, young Winnie, there is no such thing as accidents. I had very much hoped we would have had a chance to talk, just you and I.
What?
Please, won't you sit?
I'll up on the chair.
Tell me, Winnie, you have been in Barovia for some time now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this place, these people?
I think it's the saddest place I've ever been. But where I come from, it's not that sad. And I can't imagine what kind of spirit it takes to keep going in a place like this for as long as people have.
Yes, I agree with you. And that's why I think the people here are worthy of being saved. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Would you like to save them, Winnie? If you could.
Yes.
You see, victory over an enemy such as Strahd, such as the devil, requires sacrifice. Sacrifice is what is needed to save this place. And if you could give something up to ensure peace to this place, surely you would be willing to do so, yes?
Yes, I think so.
What would you give? What would any of us give if making one small sacrifice from any one individual could secure freedom and safety of everyone in this valley? Would it not be not only the right choice, but a gift?
Well, from what one individual?
Well, that's why I am glad you have come, Winnie. I can see that you are very, very special, little girl.
What do you mean?
I knew the moment you came here, I knew that you may just be the last piece of the puzzle. You see, I've told you much of Vasilka. She has learned a great deal and come so far, and she is almost ready, almost complete. But there is one piece that I've been missing. You see, Winnie, in order for two to fall in love, their souls must be entwined, in unison, touch each other. I believe Vasilka's soul and that of the devil's will perfectly entwine, but in order for him to be able to see what she is, he must be able to view her soul. Do you know how that is to be done, Winnie? Do you know how a soul can be viewed?
Mm-mm.
It is told through the eyes. It is the eyes, Winnie. The eyes are the window to the soul. And that is what I need. That is the last piece of the puzzle for Vasilka. The window to her soul. There is a luster to eyes, to innocence, that cannot be recreated or maintained. It must come fresh from the source. And that is why I needed an innocent. One untouched, unburdened by the horrors and rigors of this place. The Baron's daughters, yes, indeed, they would have sufficed. And if only he had brought them here, I thought perhaps if they were to fall ill, that would have been reason enough to overcome his superstition, to overcome his insolence, to bring them here, and they could have been the ones. They could have been the sacrifice. But stubborn fool as he was, he let them fall to death and ruin. Oh, what a pity, what a shame. I did not expect him to bring the first, of course, but I thought the second or the third, maybe by then he would have... but I overestimated him. I thought my plans would fall to ruins after that, but then you came with those innocent eyes. Vasilka. And he gestures forward and she steps forward. Vasilka, remove your veil, please. And she does so. And as she brings it up, you begin to see the stitching across her neck, a long, thin sliver held together by ties. And as she raises it up over her face, you see pristine, unbroken porcelain skin, but in her eye sockets, nothing. All the pieces to create the perfect bride for Strahd I found in the graves of this abbey and the town below, but I am still missing that last crucial piece.
Oh my God.
The eyes of an innocent. That is why I'm so glad you have come, Winnie. Your eyes can be the last piece of the puzzle. And bindings spring out of the chair that you were sitting in and wrap across you, pinning your arms to your side. I am sorry to have to do this to you. Vasilka, please. She goes over to his desk, pulls out one of the drawers, and unrolls like a surgeon's satchel, revealing a number of scalpels, scissors, and other implements. I am sorry that it has come to this, but it must be done. Yes, no, it must. To save this place, to save this valley, it is the only way, yes. Please, it will only hurt but a moment.
Wait. This is not the only way. No way. There's as many different ways to defeat Strahd as there are people in this valley. And you don't have to take things from people that they don't want to give. That's not what a sacrifice, a holy sacrifice is. That's not what a martyr is.
Oh, child. I do admire your naivete. Sometimes I wish I could go back to a place where I still held on to it. But this is a hard place, a cruel place. And to overcome it, sacrifices must be made. I am sorry that it has come to this. But fear not, for you can live without eyes. And it'll only hurt but a moment. One moment of pain. And you will ensure the freedom of this valley. Hold still, Winnie.
I cast freedom of movement on myself.
Oh, holy shit.
Atta girl, Winnie.
Holy shit.
She prepared it and
All right,
everything.
what is it?
She is showing you the receipts.
What is it like? What's it like?
Okay, it says that the components are a leather strap bound around the arm or a similar appendage.
Oh, shit.
So I'm just going to reach, cross arms around myself and grab the bindings that are holding me.
Uh-huh.
And I just I close my eyes and I imagine the rush of air in my lungs that I felt when the Way Warden exploded behind me.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel the heat of that explosion and the bindings just burn away in my hands. And I just burst out of the chair and I just start running.
Oh yeah, the wave of energy as you release the power of this spell, it knocks back Vasilka, and even the abbot stumbles back a little bit. And I think the bindings just go flying off the metal buckles, ping off the walls. One of them strikes him across the face. One of them goes flying and strikes him across the face. Oh! And as he turns back to you, you see as the hot metal of the buckle tore away the skin, golden scales underneath, and one wide lizard-like eye.
No!
Young Winnie, you must behave for your elders now.
No.
Let's cut back over to. We cut back to. Okay, Drogar, Artemis, and Kaz. Each of you give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh God, I can't. I'm gonna get sick.
I'm proficient, bitch.
Oh God. Oh, I don't know what dice to use. All my dice have been failing. Oh, come on. Out of box. Get the fuck out.
Oh, no. Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
All right, what do we got?
Let's start with Artemis.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
What is it, Constitution?
Constitution.
Well, with my +1, that's a 3.
God.
Fuck. Okay, Drogar.
Damn, natural 2. 17 for Drogar.
That's a 17 on the die. That's a 23.
Yes.
Okay. Kaz, you've been having a really pleasant dream. All of you have, in fact. You dream of once again.
Hey, I bet we have been having a pleasant fucking dream.
I'm sure we have.
Yeah.
It ain't right in a place like this.
That fucking Zarya was rubbing my feet.
For sure. Oh, fuck, sure.
I mean, wait, shit, sorry.
Tell me what you've been dreaming of.
I think it was that. I think I was dreaming that fucking Zarya was rubbing my feet.
Kaz, you are in this, you are lounging on one of those big lounge couches.
But naked.
With berserkers, there are two berserkers waving palm fronds. One of them is feeding you grapes and Zarya is at the foot of the bed rubbing your feet.
And I think the whole time there's this undercurrent of this isn't right. This is not what leadership looks like to Kaz. So the whole time this is happening, I think it's when you're having that dream and you're you just actually the movie Mother does a really good job of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Where it's like it so captures that feeling of like being in a dream. It's not a dream sequence, but like telling people something and no one's listening to you. Where you're just saying like, no, stop. Like you're not. Yes, I'm your leader, but you're my equal. Stop this.
So you're in this position, laying back on this, on this like in this lounge. There's like a warm fire roasting. There's like an array of bottles of wine like circling the room. Zaria's like rubbing your feet and talking about, oh, Kasle, we were so lost before you came. Truly, Kavan chose wisely when he appointed you our new leader. Is there anything else that we can do for you while you are our guest here?
And the whole time, I think she knows immediately something's wrong.
No, Zarya, stop doing that. This is not what this is supposed to be.
Oh, but you've earned it, Kasle. Please lay your heavy brow down.
You're damn right I've earned it, but I don't want this.
Kaz.
That's it. Who is that? Do you hear that?
Not but the wind, Kasle. Please, do not lay any more troubles on such broad shoulders that carry so much already.
They carry everything, and that's why I have to listen to the voice that is coming into my head.
Kaz, wake up!
And she'll reach a hand out and just hold it against Zarya's cheek and say,
"Now is not the time. Stop this."
And she says, well, if not now. And she blinks, and then her eyes are like this yellow color with these vertical sort of reptilian slits. Then when? And you wake up and Pasha is standing over you, like throwing his whole weight against your body, trying to shake you awake. Kaz, wake up! Winnie's gone!
Need I remind you all, Kaz is buck naked.
Yes.
She shoots up out of bed, grabs Pasha by the shoulders, and says, "Let's find her!" Grabs her spear, grabs none of her clothes, runs out the door! And we'll call it there!
Strahdcast features Campbell O'Hare as Winnie, Ned Pryce Iannacone as Drogar, Kay Devine-Jones as Kaz, Tyler Kanter as Artemis, and me, Trevor William Fayle, as your DM. Special thanks to some of our top-tier patrons: Megan Yamamoto, Queen Moon, Tara Mupp, Melanie Koenig, and Sarah Serto. To directly support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/criticalfailedm and subscribe starting at just $5 a month. You'll instantly unlock over 25 Goon exclusive extended gameplay video clips, including a bunch of episodes of Goon Talk, our patron-only talk show podcast, Kay's Keeper Notes from our Call of Cthulhu campaign, Madness and Mercy, and so much more, with new stuff being added every week. You'll be sent a code for 15% off everything in our merch store, etsy.com/shop/criticalfailedm, where you can still pick up a Goon Pin button pack featuring adorable art of the party by Rose and Pomegranate. You'll be invited to our private Discord server where all of us goons love to hang out, and you can join play-by-post D&D sessions with the Gaggle, a community of nerds that regularly display levels of kindness and joy I frankly thought impossible on the internet. If you're not ready to support us financially, there are still plenty of ways to help us out. You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at CriticalFailedM, binge Madness and Mercy on our YouTube channel, and join us there every other Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time when we do live listens of new episodes of the Strahdcast. Or rate and leave us a review wherever you like to listen. Thanks, Dungeoneers, and take your day with advantage.